Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my 10 tips when it comes to staying on a shopping ban successfully. If you're like me and you enjoy shopping, you've probably been in a place where I'm at currently, where you've shopped a little bit too much in the last little while and you do want to take some time off shopping and really enjoy the new goodies that you've acquired in the last couple of months or however long you've been on a shopping spree for, and also take the time to replenish your shopping funds. But this time that we live in, temptation is everywhere, so sometimes it's really hard to be on a shopping ban. And I use that term ban loosely because it's more about self-control than completely banning yourself from shopping. But it is still really hard to sort of resist all the temptations when it is so easy for us to see all the beautiful things that we could have on social media such as Instagram, Pinterest and YouTube. And I certainly spend a lot of time on social media. So I've really had to develop some ways for me to resist all of that temptation and stay on a shopping ban for the designated time that I've set myself for. So I'm sure I'm not alone in this, where it is really hard to resist some temptations when it comes to shopping. So if you're like me, I hope that you find my tips helpful. And if you do end up enjoying this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you back. So the very first tip is to have a positive mindset. So this is definitely not a tangible tip, but I find it really helpful when you have a positive mindset. So when you tell yourself, I'm not allowed to shop because I'm on a shopping ban, that's really restrictive and it gives you negative energy. So you're more likely to feel more drained from this whole shopping ban, and really sometimes it can set you up for failure because you do get a little bit burnt out even after a few days of being on a shopping ban. So instead of telling yourself I'm not allowed to shop, I always tell myself I choose to have a break from shopping. Although these two things mean exactly the same thing, it's almost like a positive affirmation that you tell your brain. So I find it really important to set myself up in a really positive frame of mind. The second tip is to rediscover your closet and really enjoy the items that you've already got. So this is a really obvious tip, but there is one way that I do this really well, I think, and it really helps me really enjoy my collection. So the way that I do this is, of course, I look at all of the new handbags and shoes that I've acquired, or the items that are already in my collection, and really take them out and appreciate them. But what also really helps me to really enjoy my collection to the full so that I'm not distracted on getting new goodies is using social media to my advantage. Like I said before, social media can give you so many temptations when it comes to new items that you might want to buy. But what I do instead is I actually look up all the outfit ideas around the items that I've recently acquired. So for example, I just recently bought these Chanel mules. So what I like to do on Instagram or Pinterest is I look up all the outfit ideas and search for outfits with the Chanel mules and try and come up with a lot of different outfit ideas around the item that I already just bought, so that I can really enjoy the new item to the fullest. And that also gives me the same buzz of when you're looking for a new item that you might be buying. So I absolutely love searching for outfit ideas around the items that I've recently acquired, and that really is quite effective at shifting my mind away from wanting to shop new items. The third tip is to set yourself a time frame. So it's really unrealistic for you to be telling yourself, I am not going to shop for indefinitely, or for a year or 2 years or whatever. I mean, you might have really good self-control and self-discipline, and you might be much better at this than me, but I think a lot of us can get easily distracted. And I set myself a really realistic time goal when it comes to staying on a shopping ban. So this time my luxury shopping ban is up until like a week before Christmas. I know around Christmas time I won't be able to not shop at all, so I have set myself around 2 months a shopping ban time. So when you set a realistic time frame for your shopping ban, it is much easier for you to really achieve that goal of not shopping for that time period. So for you, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 3 weeks, it could be 3 months, 4 months, but whatever is realistic time frame is really helpful to have so that you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's always nice to have a goal to work towards. And a lot of the times what happens is that even if that time frame for a shopping ban is a very short period of time of a month or so, your mind shifts. So at the end of the month, you would have formed quite a good habit system where you haven't been shopping. So generally I find it quite easy to continue with shopping really mindfully or not shopping even beyond that time frame that I set up for myself. Tip number 4 is to tell your family and friends who can hold you accountable. So it is well and good to have good self-control, but sometimes self-control can be quite unreliable especially when you've had a really long day at work or, whatever your trigger may be. So telling your close family and friends that can really hold you accountable to your shopping ban is really important. So you can tell your partner, your parents, your siblings, your best friend, whoever can really help you out. It is really helpful to let them know that you are on a shopping ban. So not only, they'll hold you accountable, but also they won't tempt you with a shopping trip or anything like that. My fifth tip is to delay the purchase. So sometimes it is really hard to resist an impulse purchase. But if you do by any chance find something or come across something that you really like whilst you're on a shopping ban, just take a step back, and even if it is just overnight or 2 days or 3 days, whatever the time may be, if you delay that purchase and not buy that thing right on the spot, 90% of the times, I promise you, you don't feel exactly the same about that item as you felt when you first saw it. So it's really important to prevent yourself from making impulse purchases. So it is a very obvious point, but sometimes it is really difficult to do. But just pull yourself away from that situation and just take some time. And if you really still want that item at the end of your thinking time of 3 days or a week or whatever it may be, then add it on your wish list so you can get that item as soon as your designated shopping ban period is over. My next tip is to review your shopping budget. So it is always helpful to have a separate pool of money where you shop from. So personally, I have a separate savings account named Extras that I use for all my entertainment or shopping or luxury purchases. So having a separate pool of money or account for shopping and other entertainment things is really helpful because one, you can really track how much you've been spending on these things, and two, you can see when it becomes a little bit bare. So at the moment, because I've been shopping a few luxury goods in the last couple of months, my luxury or extras account is getting quite low, and that's a really good cue for me to, stay on a shopping ban. Also, when you start seeing that pile of money grow back and become a lot higher or fuller, it is actually quite satisfying to watch. So at the end of your shopping ban, when you purchase your next item or when you tick off any items from your wish list, it will be such a good feeling and you will enjoy that purchase that much more. My next tip is to focus on your other hobbies and interests. Although we all probably love shopping if we're watching this video, I'm sure everyone's got other hobbies and interests. So spending more time on those other hobbies and interests can be really helpful to distract you from shopping. So for me, two things that I love researching or studying on are finances, how to manage my finances, and learning more about investments into stocks and real estate, and reading books on those topics, or listening to ebooks or watching YouTube videos on these things so I can become more knowledgeable in these areas of my interest. The other area that I'm really interested in is fitness. Although I have been quite lazy with working out and eating right at the moment, I always mean quite well. And one thing that I love to do is to research new exercise routines or new meal ideas. And researching into these things can take up some time and it can really distract me from shopping online. So focusing on your other hobbies and interests is a really good one. My next tip is to curate your collection. So if you have been shopping for a while, whether it be handbags like me, or shoes, or clothes, dresses, tops, anything, then you probably do have some repeat items, or you probably have items that you don't get that much use out of anymore, or that you don't love anymore, or you may even have items that you've even forgotten that they exist. So going through your closet carefully and assessing every piece that you've got in your closet not only gives you a better idea on what you've already got so that you don't repeat the purchases, but also you can really work out which items you aren't really getting the value out of anymore. So for me, because I am really into handbags, I have noticed that I don't use a couple of my handbags that much anymore, so I am considering selling those. So if you are like me and you notice that there is anything that you don't actually use that much anymore, it is a really good idea to consider selling them. So your collection not only becomes more curated, you also get back some of the money to replenish into your savings account for your shopping or your hobbies. My second last tip is to watch out for triggers. So sometimes we do make emotional purchases, so it is really important to understand what makes you tick and, you know, kind of go out of control and buy something when you've planned not to. And I've done this so many times before. And for me, I know that it is when I have a very difficult day at work, when I have had to deal with a difficult case or a difficult patient. I come home feeling really drained, feeling sorry for myself, and I go online or I go to the shops if it is shopping night or, you know, close to the weekend, and I go, oh, I've worked so hard and I really deserve this and I need to reward myself with something. And that is bad because it leads you to an impulse purchase that you may actually regret later on. So it's really important to find a de-stress routine to practice after an emotional day or, you know, whatever your trigger may be. So at the moment, I am getting into the routine of having a really nice bath with some candles lit, and I'm gonna see how that goes, but it's been helping me so far to relax and de-stress from the day's stress. So work out what your trigger may be that can get you out of control and make an alternative way to deal with the emotional trigger. And my final tip is to have a clear wish list. So when your ban is over, you don't go overboard buying everything that you see that you really enjoy. It's a little bit like a diet. When your diet is over, you don't want to go overboard and ruin all of the good work that you've done in that period. So whenever I am on a shopping ban or ban island, I always have a very clear wish list and keep changing and coming back to it and really refining it so that I know exactly what I am interested in. So when my shopping ban is over, I'll be just as responsible and only add items that I really know that I'm going to enjoy and that I'll love. So that's it for this video, guys. They were my 10 tips when it comes to staying on a shopping ban successfully, or as we call it in the Lux community, staying on ban island. I hope these tips were helpful. If you've got any other tips relating to this topic, do let all of us know so we can learn from your tips as well. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending some time with me today, and I can't wait to see you again soon in my next video. Bye guys!